There's a storm approaching outside my window, so let's talk about rain. Hi, I'm Cameron and I'm a fantasy author. And in our stories, rain is a very familiar thing. For many of us, it's a grounding factor, giving us something that we can resonate with. All of us either love or hate the rain, or even find ourselves somewhere in the middle. And while it can be so basic to talk about, it can carry a lot of nuance. Rain could be something that could act as white noise for your character, giving them time and space to think about their innermost thoughts. A sort of coffee shop vibe, if you will. And we've all had those situations where we're sitting by a windowsill as the rain pelts it by. It's a calming force, something that level sets our psyches. Or, on the opposite end, maybe it can be a disconcerting thing. Perhaps your character has an aversion to storms. Or maybe they were caught up in a flood. Rain can be a sort of traumatic event in that sense. And through that PTSD, you can help your character grow through it and use it as a metaphor for these things that we grow beyond. It can also just act as a tonal shift. Maybe the skies turn gray and that changes the mood of the narration that you're telling. And yes, while that may be a trope, it doesn't make it any less effective of one. It can slow down the action, bringing with it moments where characters huddle in and have deeper conversations. Or it can add extra drama to something like, say, a combat scene, something that ignites the reader's visual senses as they're going through your story. Pragmatically, rain can also change how the world works. You can integrate this weather into talking about how maybe a society deals with droughts on a regular basis. Maybe they have some sort of specific relation to a rain god or something along those lines. But above all, though, it's real. It's one of the things that grounds us to a fantasy setting even when everything else is fantastical. And it lends itself to the point that no matter how vast and varied our stories are, they also need to be human on a fundamental level. Even if your characters aren't human, humanity is what I mean. So when you're building your world, don't save the weather for a rainy day. Or do if you're doing it in that particular sense. The point is, rain can be a tool and an asset to helping build your story. I know I use it a lot in mine. You can check that out by hitting the link in bio and subscribing to The Great Fantasy Story on Substack. And be sure to like, share, and follow for more fantasy foundational tips.